Secretary, the vacant President, the Director of Commodity and Export Department, and all of you who privileged to be here today to start by planting cashew tree as flowers and for shade around your residences. I am sure in the next 2 to 3 years, your stories will be that of stakeholders in the business of cashew. Once again, the National Cashew Association of Nigeria is indeed honored by your presence in spite of your very tight schedules. We are proud of you all. Thank you and God bless. Once again, you're all welcome. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Ojuwa Janaku, the President of National Cashew Association of Nigeria, for that warm welcome remarks. Now, to take us further in today's event, we're going to have a couple of goodwill messages. Just make it maybe 1 minute or less than 1 minute. The screen is, we have shared the screen so that you see the order at which the goodwill messages will come. Beginning with the we're going to start with Dr. Victor Iyama. Dr. Victor Iyama is the president of FACAN, which is Federation of Agricultural Commodity Association of Nigeria. If you can hear me, Dr. Victor, please kindly unmute yourself for your goodwill message. Meanwhile, Mr. Sonny Stevenson should be on standby. Thank you. Dr. Victor, you have the floor if you can hear me. You can unmute yourself, Dr. Victor, if you can hear me. Am I audible myself?
Yes, Nat, we can hear you.
Okay, so Dr. Victor Yama, if you can hear me, please kindly unmute yourself for your goodwill. Okay, why we are waiting for him, let's quickly go to the next person available, Mr. Sonny Stevenson. While we wait for Dr. Victor to unmute himself, let's quickly go to Mr. Sonny Stevenson. He is a member board of trustee NCAN. So if you can hear me, Mr. Sonny Stevenson, I would like you to kindly unmute your microphone and then give your goodwill message.
Hello, everybody. My name is I'm reporting that Mr. Sonny Stevenson is unavoidably absent from this meeting.
Okay. Please, can you come close to your microphone? You're not very audible.
Sorry. My name is Oke Okuraf. I'm reporting that Mr. Sonny Stevenson is unavoidably absent at this meeting. Did you hear me?
Yes. Yes, I heard you.
Okay.
Go ahead, sir. Okay.
Yes, Sonny is not available.
Okay. So okay. So that means let's move to the next person. We just got informed that Mr. Sonny Stevenson is unavoidably absent. In that case, if Dr. Victor Yama is ready, he can go ahead. Otherwise, we'll call Chief Abraham Adeshida. Chief Abraham Adeshida is the MD, Conservative Alliance of Nigeria. So if you can hear me, Chief Abraham Adeshida, please kindly unmute yourself for your goodwill message. Meanwhile, Mr. Adeni Muritarda, MD Sterling Global, should be on standby once after Chief Abraham Adeshida is done with his goodwill message. If you can hear me, Chief Abraham Adeshida, please kindly unmute yourself for your goodwill message. This is your time, sir. Okay, Mr. Adeni Murtarda, MD Sterling Global Limited. If you can hear me, you go ahead with your goodwill message while we wait for the other ones to join us or unmute themselves. But now you have the floor, Mr. Adeni Muritarda, MD Sterling Global Limited. Please kindly unmute yourself if you can hear me. Please kindly unmute yourself if you can hear me, Mr. Adeni Muritarda. Hello? Okay, we really don't have much time. So if you can see your name on the list there and you're present here, you can, let me call Folusha Olorunda, the MD of Clean Slate Commodities
Hello.
Limited.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, good afternoon. Yes, we can hear you.
Right. So great. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Mayank Jhanjari here. I'm the business head for edible nuts for Olam, Nigeria. Thank you, Honorable Ojo Ajanaku, for your welcome remarks, and thank you, NCAN, for organizing this flag off. I would like to make this a very short message for everyone. We've had a very tough year in 2020, and I would like to wish all my friends and colleagues here for a great 2021 cashew season. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Mayank, for that very short one. If Folunsho Olorunda, the MD of Clean Slate Commodities, can hear me, please kindly unmute yourself for your goodwill message. Meanwhile, Mr. Sunil Kumar, GM Ag Commodities, should also be on standby. Folusha, if you can hear me, please kindly unmute your microphone for your goodwill message. Kindly unmute yourself. Okay. Do we have if we have Mr. Sunil Kumar, while we wait for Folusha to come on board, if we have Mr. Sunil Kumar, please, you can also unmute yourself.
Everyone.
Yes,
me,
good
please?
afternoon. Yes, we can hear you.
My name is Sunil Kumar. I'm General Manager of Agventure Commodities Limited. Okay. We thank NCAN and Ojo for organizing this. It's our privilege to be a part of this prestigious flag of function of Cashew Trading 2021. Well, one of the things among all the hindrances in operations of exports out of Nigeria, the major thing is logistical nightmare which is happening in the port. At this point, at this juncture, I would request NCAN and team to take it up with the authorities, competent authorities, and find a solution for this. This is taking most of the time and cost of export operations. Thank you, everyone. Wishing you all a successful season.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sunil, for that very short and warm one. If Mr. Daniel Gamana can hear me, you can unmute yourself. Mr. Daniel Gamana is the MD Vetex Agro Nigeria Limited. If you can hear me, unmute yourself, sir. Meanwhile, let Mr. Mitha Pradeep be on standby after Mr. Daniel Gamana. Mr. Daniel Gamana, if you can hear me, please kindly unmute your microphone for your goodwill message. Okay, while we wait for Mr. Daniel, if Mr. Mitha Pradeep is available, please kindly unmute yourself. Mr. Mitha Pradeep is the MD, NK Indo Nigeria Limited. Please kindly unmute yourself if you can hear me for your goodwill message. If you can hear me, please kindly unmute yourself, Mr. Mitha Pradeep. Okay, we really don't have much time on our side, so I'm afraid we will jump to the next person, Mr. Boladi. Mr. Boladi of Valency Agro Nigeria Limited. If you can hear me, kindly unmute yourself for your goodwill message.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Mr.
I'm audible. Can you hear me?
Good afternoon. Yes,
good
I can hear
afternoon.
you.
Yeah, my name is Sunil Dhanuka, and I'm representing Mr. Balodi. Mr. Balodi is our global head and based in Singapore, and I'm country head for Valency, Nigeria. I wish a good year this year, and I hope everybody will do a fair play, and we will not rush and unnecessarily increase the pricing like what happened a couple of years ago. We have already too many challenges on hand. COVID is there, logistic issue is there, port issue is there, documentation issue is there, and this is a year where we aim to meet our targets and our at a better price and better realization, so that at least we can survive this year. This is all I want to say for this forum. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for that very warm one and short. Okay, taking us further in goodwill message, we have the president of FACAN. We have the president of African Cashew Alliance in person of Mr. Babatola Paseru. Please, if you can hear me, sir, kindly unmute yourself for your goodwill message, sir. Mr. Babatola, if you can hear me, please kindly unmute yourself. Mr. Babatola is the president African Cashew Alliance. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone.
Yes, good afternoon.
I'm not getting the video yet. Okay. Okay, can you see me? Was talked up.
Yes, we can see you. Go ahead.
Okay. Am I well? Because I'm not seeing myself yet.
No, we can see you very well. We can see you very well.
We can see you, sir.
I'm well centered, yeah? Okay.
Yes, I can see you.
Okay. Thank you very much. It gives me great pleasure to be here today. First of all, I'd like to welcome especially our esteemed permanent secretary of the Federal Ministry of Industry, Mr. Alhaji Sani Grazzo. Also want to appreciate the presence of our very dear President of FACAN, Dr. Victor Yama. Also, special greetings to the National President, National Cashew Association of Nigeria, Honorable Ojo Wajanaku. Also, greetings to the members of the BOT of National Cashew Association of Nigeria that are present on this platform. Also, the distinguished actors in the cashew landscape, the financial bodies that are here represented, our technical and development partners, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of African Cashew Alliance, it's with great joy for me personally that we are witnessing this year's virtual 2021 trading year, the flag of event. Even though the physical interaction will have been what we would all have preferred, but for the times that we are in. Permit me to start by sharing with you. I have been elected president of ACA board, which personally present a great opportunity for the cashew sector in Nigeria, and also being and having that unique privilege and opportunity of being the immediate past president of the National Cashew Association of Nigeria. The African Cashew Alliance, ACA, since its inception in 2006, has tremendously impacted the African cashew industry. And even closer to us now, if I say so, following my election, I believe we would also partake of the good works of the alliance. Suffice to say that Nigeria itself has been a key participant and a key player, and one of the strongholds of ACA over the years. Ladies and gentlemen, the cashew sector in Africa has undergone significant changes and grown continuously, and has encountered diverse changes, reforms, and policies in the last decade. Over the last 3 years, Africa ranked the highest producer of cashew, with a large chunk of it coming from West Africa. Cote d'Ivoire being the #1, and Nigeria not far off, being the 5th largest producer in the world. Indeed, with the growth in production, one will expect processing should also be booming, as after all, we have what it takes to feed the factory. It's always been that challenge of having processing moving at the pace of production. We keep adding more production by the year, but processing is not keeping in pace. And basically, that's one of the focus of ACA, to see that we process, a very good percentage of what we produce, so we can feed our factories, produce more jobs. However, this is far from reality, as only less than 15% of the produced crop is processed, and the rest exported out of Africa, meaning our jobs are being exported out to Vietnam, India, Brazil. Nevertheless, let us not deny the fact that Africa cannot process what it produces, as we do not first have the factories for such, and second, the existing factories are unable to meet up the financial requirements to purchase and compete with external run-on buyers. And third, amongst others, lack of favorable sectoral policies that could attract investors to set up functional and high capacity factories. And indeed, also, we lack the skill as you have it in countries like India and Vietnam. How do we manage this situation? It is because of this situation that ACA becomes very, very relevant in the scheme of things in Africa. Sector and policy mapping to advise on favorable policies. Private and public sector roundtables to enable dialogues accurate market information, which allows for informed business decisions, road trips to factories to address issues affecting processing, while providing technical services and series of learning platforms for knowledge exchanges are amongst many services the ACA has been offering to both individual and collective stakeholders in the African cashew industry. Over the years, ACA has proven to be a learning hub, which provides several platforms for the purpose of learning and experience sharing. Some notable learning events of ACA include the Global Market Encounter, the GME, a market-centered event held fortnightly. Another is the technical series, which covers issues related to cashew processing, including food safety, factory management, traceability, cashew technology, incubation period. As you are aware, we have the ACA seal, which helps in developing processors to be able to meet up with international standards. And the ACA seal, of course, is recognized among the key buyers across Europe, Middle East, and America. Also, there is the ACA annual conference held every September in each cashew producing country. The ACA conference continues to serve as an ideal business location for both learning and networking. It also offers the opportunity for stakeholders to display their brand, products, and services. Ladies and gentlemen, all these are available for the benefit of Nigeria cashew sector. Permit me to say at this junction that following my election as the ACA board president, we have identified gaps necessary to make the cashew sector in Nigeria viable. One of such is working very closely with the processors to help them achieve their goals and objectives, working with them to unify them, to exchange ideas and have learning experiences amongst them so that the learning curve will be as short as possible. I would like to say at this junction that ACA is strongly committed to foster unity among stakeholders in Nigeria as with other countries in Africa, and reducing communication gaps which can easily be achieved if all the actors are properly segmented and harnessed together. Ladies and gentlemen, another identified gap by the ACA is the area of documentation. Statistics. In terms of documentation, this covers collection, analyzing, reporting of data from our country. Are the figures right out there? How can we authenticate and say for a fact that a particular data on production is accurate or a processor figure? This is an area where ACA is developing tools as part of an action plan that will facilitate proper documentation of data and proper statistics for the cashew sector in Nigeria and indeed across Africa. Fellow colleagues, fellow actors, captains of industries, regulators in the industry, I would like to end by restating that with the support and expertise of African Cashew Alliance, the cashew industry is on the path to becoming viable. The ACA team welcomes suggestions, ideas, partnerships, as we Nigerian stakeholders give our full support to see this become a reality. Once again, I would also say that I'm very happy to be part of this event, and that I wish every one of us a very fruitful, a very prosperous cashew season. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Thank you very much for that special goodwill message. I understand this person is back, Dr. Victor, President of FACAN, Federation of Agricultural Commodity Association of Nigeria. Dr. Victor Yama, if you can hear me, please kindly unmute your microphone for some few seconds goodwill message. Yama, if you can hear me, kindly unmute your microphone for your goodwill message. I also understand that we have the MD of African Cashew Alliance, Mr. Minta Ernest. I just recognize him. We'll take it. Maybe if you have something to say, I would call you up later, sir, in the course of the event. Dr. Victor Yama, probably I figure you're having problem unmuting yourself, but if you can hear me, kindly unmute yourself for your goodwill message. Okay. I'm afraid Dr. Victor is finding it difficult to unmute himself. Well, I will take him up. I will call you up, sir, later on in the event once you are able to get back on board. But without wasting much time, it's my singular honor and privilege to welcome Nasir Sani Guarzo. He's the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. He would be giving us his keynote address and then the official flag of this event. Nasir Sani Guarzo, if you can hear me, please, kindly unmute yourself for your keynote address and official flag off. I understand some people are having issues logging in or muting themselves. Please, Nasir Sanu Guarzo, Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. If you can hear me, sir, kindly unmute yourself for your keynote address and the official flag off of this event. You have the time now, sir. You have the floor now, sir. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, please kindly unmute your microphone. Okay. Please, if you're not talking, just unmute your microphone. I can hear somebody talking at the background. Just unmute your microphone. Though, if you're not the one talking yet, please kindly unmute your microphone. Okay. While we wait for the Permanent Secretary for his keynote address and official flag off, I'm afraid we have to move on to the next agenda on this program. I'm glad to say that we're going to go into the technical session. We will come back to these other goodwill messages and keynote addresses once they are able to come up or mute their microphone. So I would like us to, without wasting much time, go quickly to the next agenda on today's event, which is a technical session. Now, we are going to take a market outlook presentation to make us understand the outlook of the cashew industry. And to do justice to that, it's my honor to welcome Mr. Roland Oro, the Director, Nigeria Agri-Business Register. Mr. Roland, if you can hear me, please kindly unmute your microphone for the presentation. It's your time now, sir. If you can hear me, please kindly unmute your microphone. Mr. Roland, you have the floor now. Please kindly unmute your microphone, Mr. Roland, if you can hear me. I cannot mute your microphone. I can hear Please, if you are not talking, unmute your microphone. I can Mr. Roland, if you can hear me, please go ahead with the presentation. I'm having a lot of technical issues, or network issues rather. I can see Mr. Roland is already sharing his screen. We cannot hear you. If you can hear me, you're not audible at all. I would like the IT mute everyone. Mr. Roland, we cannot hear you. Mr. Roland, if you can hear me, please unmute your microphone. While we wait, and you're already sharing your screen. We can see your screen, but we cannot hear you. So if you can hear me, then unmute your microphone for your presentation. Okay, it seems Mr. Roland is having some difficulty coming on board for his presentation. So while we wait for him, I don't know if Dr. Victor Yama is back. Dr. Victor Yama, the president of FACAN. Okay, I just got a message from Mr. Roland that he's finding it difficult to connect. I guess it's a network issue. Please, if Dr. Victor Yama is available, you can go ahead with your goodwill message. Dr. Victor Yama, if you can hear me, you can go ahead and unmute your microphone for your goodwill message. Otherwise, I go back to the Honorable Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, in the person of Nasser Sani Guarzo, for his keynote address and official flag of this event. If you can hear me, please kindly unmute yourself. I'm afraid a lot of people are having technical network issues talking to us or participating in today's event. But if either the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, in the person of Nasser Sani Guarzo, can hear me, please, sir, you can unmute yourself for your keynote address and official flag of today's event. If you can hear me, kindly unmute yourself, sir.
The video is stopped.
Yes. Otherwise, if we have Dr. Victor Yama, president of FACAN, he can go ahead. I understand he's back. He's connected, but
No.
you have to unmute yourself so we can hear you. So either of the two, you can
Okay,
go
no.
ahead. Hello? Hello? Oh, I'm afraid we're having quite network issues. A lot of them have not been able to connect. Okay. Without wasting much time, let's just go ahead with the next. We'll come back to the ones who have missed out in the course of the event, but without wasting much time, let's proceed. The next point on the agenda, we're going to be having field reports from zonal and state chairmen of UNCAN. We're going to be having special reports, special field reports from delegates across various states in Nigeria. They'll be giving us reports about harvest. What's the harvest situation like? What is the price like? The current price. I'm sure a lot of us are interested, to know what's happening across Nigeria. This session is very important to a whole lot of us here today. Now, they would be giving us insights as to opening in their local environment concerning the cashew trading season. We want to understand what is the harvest situation like, what is the price like, price in the past 2 weeks and the current price of cashew or raw cashew nuts. We also want to understand those prices, of course, you tell us the price at the gate. Possibly, if you have done some trading, and what the FOB price is like at your end. We also like to understand how has the pandemic impacted the season for you. So these are the kind of field reports we'd like you to give to us, and any other intelligence that you want us to know coming from a local source and from an insider. So I have delegates from Kwara, Edo, Kogi, Enugu, we have Oyo, we have Niger, and a whole lot of them to give us their field reports. Now, if we have delegates from Kwara, if we have delegates from Kwara states, please, you can go ahead and give us your field reports about the cashew situation in your location. If we have delegate from Kwara, if we have delegate from Edo State or Kogi State, please, this is your time. If you are from Kwara State. Kwara State is one of the key cashew producing states in Nigeria. So to be good, we hear what the situation is like. And I'm sure a lot of people who are participating in today's event are also would be happy to know what is happening in that state. So if we have a delegate or representative, a zonal representative or state chairman.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Please kindly introduce yourself and go ahead. You have the floor, sir.
Yes, my name is Alaji Chief Akinola from Kwara State.
Okay, sir.
Okay. About cashew nut, we normally wait a little bit in Kwara State till like middle of February before we start, because of we care about the quality and want to make sure there's availability so that there won't be crisis. So we normally hold on a little bit till around February before we started in Kwara State. And issue of price, we don't normally discuss price because discussing price are not the same all over Nigeria. There's different price between Kogi and Kwara and Nasarawa, Enugu, because of the transportation different, because of the quality different, because of the dryness different, and so many things. So many things come to play when it comes to issue of price. So that's why we don't normally discuss price on the on platform like this, because each exporter know where they are taking their cashew to. We have local processor, we have exporter, we have so many things. So the price are not always the same. So my advice is about the price. Let the exporter and those people that are buying determine price they want to buy. So my own contribution to this is that. So we are welcome to the new season. Cashew is just coming up in Kwara State, and we want to make sure we have a good quality. My name once more is Alhaji Chief Akinola from Kwara State.
All right, thank you very much, Alhaji, for that insights from Kwara State. Okay, so we would also take similar insights from various states. Let's understand what do you see, what do you have you started harvesting, what's like in your own state. But I understand that I just got this information. I'm afraid Mr. Roland is back. So if Mr. Roland is back, I mean, I think that will set a pace. His presentation will set a pace for the field reports we are going to be getting from the zonal and state chairman. So Mr. Roland, if you can hear me, please, you can unmute yourself and go back to your presentation. I also understand Mr. Audi from, I understand we have representative from FMITI who is also on standby. But before we take his, okay, I understand Mr. Audi wants to take his remark or his remark. So Mr. Audi, if you can hear me from FMITI, please go ahead and unmute yourself for your address.
Good afternoon. Actually, I'm not expected to make any statement. I'm not in the program according to protocol. It is my permanent secretary, Dr. Nesu Sani Guaso, who is expected to deliver his remarks and flag off this important ceremony. Therefore, I would rather wait to see how he can be connected and he will address this very August conference appropriately. If he asks me to speak, I will do so, but in the meantime, so according to protocol, I'm not expected to say anything for now, but I wish all of us the best and a very successful deliberation. So in the meantime, let's still wait for the permanent secretary who may connect anywhere from now. He's present out of Abuja, I'm aware. He's on the official visit to Jigawa, from Jigawa to Kano, and Kano back to Abuja. So maybe he's having some challenges. But I've not been directed to make any speech on his behalf. So let's be patient and see what happens in the course of this event. I thank you.
Thank you very much for that insight. Okay, let's go ahead while we wait for the Honorable Permanent Secretary to join us and give his keynote address and official flag off, which will come up anyhow. I would like to then quickly go back to field reports. Why? Okay, I can see Mr. Roland is sharing his screen.
Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me all?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great. All right. I'm so sorry. I'm just having some unusual technical challenges here, but I'm sure it's going to be fine. So let me once again thank everyone, the president of UNCAN, Honorable Joe Ajanaku, the president of FACAN, Dr. Victor Iyama, the president of the board of directors of the African Cashew Alliance, Pastor Obatola Fasheru, and every market actor in the cashew business, all protocols duly observed. So I'm just going to give this short market insight on this flag off occasion. Just a minute, let me see if I can put it on slide mode. All right, so my name is Roland Oro from the Nigeria Agribusiness Register. It's a privilege and honor to be part of this flag off. A little bit about what we do. The register provides support services. We are service providers to the agribusiness and trade sectors. We support new businesses and also support existing businesses to scale. But most importantly, what we do is helping to turn impact-oriented investments, impact-oriented investment intentions into actual investment. All right, so if you want to start a value addition project, for instance, maybe you're a trader and you want to go into processing, you have an intention to do that, so we can work with you, sort of structure the project, look for technical assistance, look for support, sort of even help you, look for funding because your project has impact. So that's what we do. The register, it's the investment arm of Commodities Development Initiative, CDI, which is a commercial NGO registered here in Nigeria. We have a plethora of services, but because of the event for today, I'm going to focus on one, which is our market insights and intelligence service, which we offer to the agri stakeholders. So we're happy to be part of this once again. So this is the outline of my presentation. We'll look at what is the objective of this presentation, and then also take a look at the cashew harvest for 2021. We did a little outlook report on the cashew for 2021 in terms of the production perspective, so I'm going to just give a summary of that. And then also take a look at the international cashew market situation, to just sort of give us a picture of what's happening in the international market to sort of guide and support our buy and sell decisions locally. And then I'll round up the presentation with a little recommendation of what we think the market will look like in 2021, right? So let's jump into it. So the purpose of this presentation really is to use information to sort of better manage risks in trading agricultural products. Many of us are familiar with what happened in 2018, a lot of speculative buying, and which led to a lot of challenges for people, buying high and then not being able to sell, at a reasonable price, So we think that with proper information guiding the trade at the early part like this, it will sort of help people in their expectations. It will help people in their decision making, such that we can minimize difficulties along the line. So that's one of the reasons why we are making this presentation, to sort of track, provide information that can help people in making efficient decisions that help them to manage their risks. So like I said earlier on, we took a look some months ago around November, at the production at the field, and that information is in this publication called AgWeek, which is one of our information products from the register. This particular edition was focused on the cashew sector and has a lot of information. I'm sure many of you already have it, but if you don't have it, you can just indicate your details on the chat function, and we will send the report to you, or you can visit our website to download the report yourself. There are also other reports on our website. We have a knowledge center which we're cultivating, with a lot of information reports from donor agencies across the 15 value chains that we are working on, including cashew. So feel free to visit the website. It's not where we want it to be, but we're gradually improving it to make it very resourceful and supportive to traders and investors that are in the agro sector. So in this report, in the production forecast, we did a lot of consultations with actors within the production arena, and we came to the conclusion that the harvest this year was going to be good because of good weather conditions that we saw in 2020 across the different production belts in Ogbomoso, Kogi, and even the Enugu Aziz. It's the same story of very good weather supporting cashew cultivation. So we're expecting to see some good harvest this year. Let's take a look at the price behavior. This is just a slide that gives us a picture of a 4-year history of opening prices from 2018 to date. As you can see, 2018 was very high, and we all still recall the experience of 2018, the very challenging situation of, price drop, after a very high price beginning. And in 2019, we saw some correction there at $262,000 Naira per ton. And 2019 was fairly not so bad. And then in 2020, we saw that price also came down to 250. And of course, the events of 2020, are still with us, the COVID-19 and the drop in consumption of kernels, which, usually impacted the trade. But right now we're seeing a different scenario of, a rising price trend, which I think also informed the purpose of this presentation to sort of provide information to help people in their expectations. I'm going to go to the next slide now to look at the market situation as we see from our short research that we did. In Vietnam, we've seen a strong demand for raw cashew nut because of several reasons. The Cashew Association there, Vinacas, they have a very proactive target to do up to $4 billion in kernels export in 2021. So we hope to see a lot of demand, from Vietnam because of their production to meet this target. They had targeted same target in 2020, but because of COVID and other factors, they couldn't meet it. They sold $3.15 billion in 2020. It's also important to recall that despite the COVID situation in 2020, the EU and US still remains a significant market for kernels, at least for the Vietnamese processors, from what they said. One other important development that happened 2020 was that Vietnam signed 2 free trade agreements, which will give them access, tremendous access to markets, to sell several products, including cashews. So we see that the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement amongst several Asian countries, which include Vietnam, that gives them access to several markets, to sell cashews. So we may be seeing a lot of demand coming from Vietnamese processors. And also importantly, the free trade agreement between the EU and Vietnam, as many of us know, the EU is a very strong consumption center for cashews. And this partnership is going to give Vietnam an edge in selling several products, including cashews, in the EU market. So the outlook is that we're going to see a lot of some actions, from Vietnam. Now let's turn over to India. So like you already know, Vietnam and India are the 2 major buyers of raw cashew nut from Nigeria over the last many years. And in India, it's in 2020 very serious drop in consumption of kernels, which was expected because of COVID. But it's expected that this consumption will pick up in 2021 as the lockdown and restrictions, begin to reduce. One of the statements from Samson Trading Company, it's one of the traders there. He has an upbeat perception concerning the uptake of kernels in India. So we may see some activities in India, even though we know that Kerala, we have several non-functioning processing factories in Kerala State, which is a major cashew processing hub in India. but nevertheless, we may see some consumption in India and some demand for raw cashew nuts from Indian processors. So as I begin to round up this short presentation, let's look at the general market indications aside India and Vietnam. We see that because of COVID, a lot of people around the world are more health conscious and they are tending towards demand for natural and healthy foods, which cashew is one of such. So we, generally speaking, we may see a lot of demand, for cashews across the major traditional consumption centers and the emerging markets. But also importantly to state that we may see new processing projects in West Africa because of the activities of donor interventions that seeks to support regional processing at origin. So we have the US government through the USDA right now, with 2 projects really supporting processing of cashew nuts. So I want to use this opportunity to call on indigenous traders in Nigeria and foreign trading companies to take advantage of these opportunities to look at increasing value addition. Like Mr. Ojo said, we need to increase processing to create jobs for our young people. And I think cashew provides that opportunity to do just that. As a roundup, what's our outlook? So the outlook generally is good with indications that consumption of kernels will increase in the traditional and emerging markets. But again, we want to recommend a cautious optimism, because we don't know how the second wave of COVID-19 will play out. A lot of countries are shutting down their borders, so that may really affect trade. So please don't buy, don't just be in a hurry to buy. We recommend that people should look for information, stay connected to information sources to sort of read the market and know how the situations are panning out regarding COVID-19 and the other the consequences of it. So with that, I'm going to round up. So if you need any assistance in the area of either you want to start a new project, a processing project, please feel free to reach us. My email address is there. These are phone numbers. You can contact us and we can discuss your project. Thank you so much for your time. Over to you, Nat. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Roland, for that market outlook insight that you've given us. We would proceed to the field reports from the zonal and state chairman of NCAN. So, but before we do that, I would like, I understand Mr. Ernest Minta, the MD of African Cashew Alliance, is around participating. So you be on standby. Immediately after the insights or reports from the zonal and state chairman of NCAN, you would come on board and give us a quick information that will be very useful to actors and players in the industry. Okay, without wasting much time, Kwara State actually gave us their own report, what is happening there. I understand Ogun State is present for their field reports. Ogun State is present for their field report. So if you can hear me, delegates from Ogun State, either the zonal and then state chairman from Ogun State, if you can hear me, please unmute yourself and then give us field reports of what is happening in your location so that stakeholders there will be informed. Please go ahead and unmute yourself if you can hear me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, please go ahead and unmute yourself if you can hear me. State from Ogun State, the zonal or state chairman from Ogun State. Okay, why he's trying to do that if we have either Edo State, represent delegate from Edo State, you can quickly, I can see somebody sharing his screen there. Sorry, sharing a video there. So if you can hear me, please kindly go ahead. This is a time for field reports. We want to understand what is happening zonally, what is happening in the industry zonally. So I'm calling right now, either Ogun State, if you can hear me, you go ahead and give us, can you hear me? I can see you're shaking your head. You're sharing your video. If you can hear me, don't unmute yourself and go ahead, sir.
I want to speak.
Okay, go ahead, sir. Go ahead. You have the floor, sir. Please go ahead.
Is it from Edo State?
Yes. Are you from Edo State? Whichever state you are, either
I'm
Edo
from
State.
Edo State. I'm the vice chairman, vice president for Edo State. My name is Joshua Dekari. I want to give you people the updates, what is going on in Edo State. Are you hearing me?
Okay, please, yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay, I should go ahead. So by the grace of God, we have started the season earlier, and a lot of people are having cashew to ship to Lagos. The president told us that we should hold out here until the flag off today. And by the grace of God, one of the village called Yaro, more than 10 trucks, I'm ready to ship to Lagos. When I visited one of the place again, they say I do not, for again a go there. We have more than 10 trucks also to be lifting to Lagos. But thanks on the price, people have buying various prices in Edo State. And are you hearing me, sir? I hope you are hearing me, sir.
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
Okay, sir. So by the grace of God, we are ready. As some of the white people came to Edo State to buy, we told them that they should hold on till the flag off of today. And after the flag off, we commit our buy. And for now, the price they are buying Edo State.
Please unmute yourself if you are not talking. Unmute yourself if you're not talking. I mean, mute yourself, I beg your pardon. If you're not talking, you're distracting the conversation. Please go ahead, the vice chairman from Edo State.
Okay, sir. So, you know what I'm trying to say is that by the grace of God, the cashew seed has out already. And we have the QRO of 53, 54 in Edo State. So I want to assure the buyers, anybody that is listening to us, that we are set for the season. And by the grace of God, more cashew is coming up in our state already. So that is the few report I can give so far for now.
Thank you very much, Vice Chairman from Edo State. We appreciate you for that insight. I know some people will have some few questions they would like to ask from these regions. So you can use a chat function, or you can use a chat function or Q&A button to write out the question so we can ask a question. We would also like to have reports from Kogi State. It is also one of the major cashew producers in Nigeria. It would also be good if we have a few reports from Kogi State. Please, if you have delegates from Kogi State or the state chairman or vice chairman from Kogi State, you can please kindly unmute yourself for your few reports. Thank you. Again,
thank you so much.
Mute yourself.
Thank you so much, everybody. I'm Isaac Sanjajonwa, representing Kogi State as official of National Cashew Association of Nigeria. As for Kogi State, we are set to welcome buyers and investors into Kogi State, being one of the largest producing cashew producing states, we are more than ready to welcome buyers of raw cashew kernels in this year. And also, our concern is about the wasting cashew apples all over the state, which can be turned into various products. And we want investors that can invest in our cashew apples so that we can turn this into resources, so that employment can be created, jobs can be created, and wealth also can be created in our state. And so we have enough land, we have enough labor, cheap labor, that people can be able to take advantage of, so that we can move the cashew industry forward. So our doors are open to see who is ready to invest in cashew apple processing. A number of products can be gotten from this cashew apple, which are better, like the National President of NCAN said. The vitamin C content of cashew apple is higher than what you have in orange. It's higher than what you have in pineapple. And so a lot of foreign exchange can be conserved. A lot of foreign exchange can be saved in this direction. And at this time, we want to see how this value chain can be developed so that youths and women can have jobs from our farm gates. It's very easy to process this near the farm gates. And also, we have infrastructures in place like electricity, have good roads, enable investors to take advantage of. So in this year, 2021, our doors are open once again to welcome all the investors, all the buyers, so that we can do a profitable cashew business. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much for that insight from Kogi State. We also would have field reports. We'll be getting field reports from Enugu, Oyo State, Niger State, and other states represented in this event. But meanwhile, I would like to give Mr. Imam from Bankability, he should be on standby. Imam from Bankability should be on standby after the field report. So he would give us a quick information that would interest most of us here, the funding opportunities from UK. Now, if we have the state chairman from Enugu State, you can unmute your microphone and give us a report of what is happening in your location. Like I said, if you have any question you would like to ask, you can put it down via the chat function. I would ask the questions appropriately. So if you can hear me as the state chairman of INCAN from Enugu State, you can unmute yourself and give us a few reports from your location. Please go ahead, sir. You can unmute yourself. While Enugu State is getting ready, if your state is ready, you can unmute yourself for your field report.
Hello? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please kindly introduce yourself.
My name is Godwin Obodo. I'm the INCAN National Vice President Southeast. And I'm from Enugu State too. I want to use the opportunity to thank everyone present, especially our amiable National President, Honorable Oja Janako, and all of you present in this occasion. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Are you still with me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. So I thank God for a day like this. In Enugu State, the cashew season this year started a little earlier than it used to be. And we thank God for that. The Hamadan too has not been too harsh on the trees. So we expect a very big harvest of cashew this year. And at the moment, we have plenty of cargoes ready to be shifted. We are waiting for this flag off. But immediately after this flag off now, I'm sure a lot of trucks would have started leaving Enugu to Lagos or either Parakot or whatever. So I am inviting everybody, any company that is interested to buy from us here in Enugu, to feel free to come. Enugu State is very safe, and the Enugu State is the only state in Nigeria that is in the hands of God. Thank you. I wish all of us happy Cashew flag off.
Thank you very much for that insight given us. We really appreciate you. So you can see that people are ready for the season, and we hope it's going to be a great trading year.
Okay.
We would also like to have field reports from Oyo State. I can see you're sharing your picture right there. If you can hear me, please kindly unmute yourself, introduce yourself, and give us a few reports on what is happening in your location. Please mute your microphone. If you can hear me, mute your microphone. Enugu State, please mute your microphone. Thank you. All right. Now, if we have state chairman from Oyo State, if you can hear me, please kindly unmute yourself and let us know what is happening in your location. Let's understand what's happening in your location. Oyo State, State Chairman Nkan, Oyo State, if you can hear me, unmute yourself. I understand there's so much interest for this event, and so a lot of people have not been able to come in for this because of there's a carrying capacity for this. So we apologize for that. Meanwhile, if you can hear me from Oyo State or from Niger State, you can unmute yourself right now and then give us a few reports of what is happening in your location. You can unmute yourself if you are a state chairman of Nkan from any of the states. You can unmute yourself and introduce and then give us a few reports, either from Oyo State, Niger State, or any of the states. If you can, I understand a couple of people have not been able to join because of some technical issues they're having joining. But it will interest you to know that this event is packed with a lot of participants.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah, good afternoon. Please go ahead, introduce yourself.
Yes, this is Tokun from Oyo State. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, we can hear you.
My chairman is not maybe because of the network of where he is right now at is saying so he was unable to meet up, but on his behalf and on behalf of the association of Oyo State, I want to give you the outlook of what is going on in our place. We had it, as everybody has just said, we had it good likewise. We had very early season across the state this year in the Ogbomoso axis, and to the glory of God, the majority of people, prayer has been done in the Ogbomoso about last week, and so buying from the market and from the farm gate has commenced into each various warehouses, but shipment to Lagos or Port City has not started. And it might interest everyone that the bean weight, the nut count that we're having this year, very good, ranges between 165 to 172 in Ogbomoso, and Okeogun axis we have between 175 to 185. So that is the nut count, and the KOR that we are having ranges between 49 and 52 as at now, and we hope that even on the dry basis, this thing we are going to improve much more better. So all buyers in Ogbomoso, in Oyo State, are expecting our investors likewise to come and invest this year with honesty and patriotism likewise. And at the same time, we are also looking, we want to encourage our majority of our processors to also think of investing in the area of how you can establish your industries in our place. Because especially now, the farm activity has increased. People are increasing in our farming, our production. And I want to assure you the production that we're going to have from your cities here are going to be much more than we used to have it. As of now, we have not seen the intrusion from border area. And we, likewise, the state government also help us and assure us in the area of security around Okeogun area and Ibarapa, so that we can be feel secured in our business. Thank you very much for having us. We welcome every one of you and wish you a very good season. Thank you.
Thank you very much from Oyo State. I thought that was very insightful. Now, I think that gives us, for those who will be giving us field reports, please indicate your KOR if you can. Indicate also the nut count, moisture content if you can, and then possibly the price if you have for those who can, because I can see none really has. Somebody's asked a question, what is the pricing in some of these locations? So if you can indicate that if you have it ready. If you don't, then we would compile those kind of reports and then send it to everyone after today's event. I'm sure the president also would, the national president would also say some few things about this. Meanwhile, we would also like to take field report from Niger State. If we have the state chairman from Niger State, you can unmute yourself and then let us understand what is happening in your area. Please unmute yourself and go ahead. If you can hear me, delegates or state chairman of Nkan from Niger State. Okay, while we await that, if we have any other state chairman from any of the states that have not presented yet, you can please unmute yourself because you can unmute yourself. I understand a lot of people are having technical issues logging in. This is to assure all of us today that after this, for those who have not been able to log in, understand that we are going to send details of the report of the proceedings to you via email, because we already have your contact once you registered for the event. Okay, do we have any delegates, any state chairman of Nkan from any of the states that have not presented yet that can give us a field report from Niger State?
Hello?
Yes.
This Musa Shaibu, the National Deputy President, National Cashew Association of Nigeria, from Kogi State. Hello, are you hearing me? Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you, please. Yes,
thank
we
you
can
very
hear
much.
you. Please go ahead.
All right, thank you very much. First of all, I want to appreciate the organizer of this event and to wish all our members a happy season. In respect of what is happening on the field now, in Kogi State, like my colleague has earlier said, we are expecting a very fruitful year, and we are expecting quantity to be available. And even right now, there is enough on ground that can be lifted to Lagos or Port Harcourt after the flag off. But one thing we are trying to say is that we have a very good quality this year, of which we are having 54, 53 QOR, and a not count of 180, 182, 185 to 187. So which we believe it is a very good cropping season. But one thing we want to assure people is that our state is a state of hospitality, whereby we welcome any investor that is ready to come and invest with us, and that is ready to follow the due process of this business. That is, the value chains of this business has to be maintained. The calling for investment is to create job opportunity for unemployed citizens of the state, not for the calling for investment whereby jobs that are supposed to be done by people. So we are wishing everybody a happy season, and we welcome them very truly to come and do the business with us with happiness and profitable. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much for that. Thank you very much for that insight. Why we do if there's a state another state chairman from a state that has not presented yet, please, you can unmute yourself and quickly give us your updates. So if you can hear me, you have not presented yet. You are a state chairman of NCAN from any of the states, but have not given us a field report yet. You can unmute yourself. This is your time. Please go ahead and unmute yourself. Okay. For want of time, if you can hear me, you can unmute yourself. Otherwise, okay, we'll proceed on the next point on the agenda. Please unmute yourself. I can hear somebody talking at the background. I would like the host to mute everyone apart from me, unless I call. Please, host, please unmute everyone so that we don't have this noise that is talking. I mean, that is distracting us at the background.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah, this is Michael calling from the Eastern Zone.
Hello.
Hello, I am actually not a
Yeah, hello? You're not audible, please.
Hello, yeah, I was actually muted by, I think, the organizer. I'm back online. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, but you're quite far away from your microphone. If you can come close so you'll be audible enough.
All right. Is it better now? Is it better now?
Not really, but just go ahead.
Oh, is it better now?
Absolutely. I think you're a lot better now. Go ahead, sir. Introduce yourself and go ahead.
All right. I am Linus. I operate from the Eastern Zone. I actually didn't want to speak before because I'm not an official. But since I'm a key player too, I want to lay credence to the voice of the last speaker from something we take note of. And that is when we call on investors to come to the field, we are not calling them to come and break the chain. Certain things do happen on the field, which some of our investors, I mean,
our expatriates, when they get to the field, they break the chain and thereby incapacitating some of the people that were supposed to be on the field. They deal directly with people they are not supposed to deal with. I just want us to take notice of that. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much for that information. Thank you. Okay, so for other states, I mean, I understand we don't have a lot of time. So for some other states that have not reported yet, please do us good by using the chat function and give us updates from your state. Just use the chat function. You can give us information. You can state information like the KOR, the not count, the moisture content, the security situation in your area, possibly the price. That is for the price, the farm gate price last 2 weeks, and what is the current price in your location. We'd like to know that kind of information and any other information that will be very important for investors and stakeholders to inform trading for this year. Remember, this is trying to give a lot of information that would help reduce speculative trading for this year's cashew season flag off. And now that said, I'll quickly like us to go to the next point on the agenda, which would be international market outlook. We have seen our local reports, so let's go international. Let's understand the perspective of buyers and exporters. What is the market outlook like? Now, I understand there are a lot of international players who are participating in this event. Some of you did not indicate your name, but you know you are an international player. Remember, we had Olam. Olam is represented here fully. Part of them include Oxley Global. We have Valency. Valency also spoke earlier. We have MK. We have Colossus Investment. We have Starlink Global and the likes of them. Now, we've heard from the local players or from the zonal reports. We would also like to have an idea of what the international market looks like. To do justice to that, I would like to welcome, if you can hear me, Mr. Mayank of the business head Edible Nuts Olam Nigeria, to let's understand what the international market outlook is like. What are you looking at for this year's season? Please, if you can hear me, Olam Nigeria, unmute yourself and go ahead.
Yeah, hi. So, this is Mayank here. So what I look at this season right now, the crop, like everybody is saying, the crop is good across West Africa. In fact, the crop is good in India as well as Southeast Asia, which is Vietnam, Cambodia. Crops are also looking very good. The demand is also picking up now post the COVID. While of course the concerns continue to remain around. The second wave and the third wave and all of that, but demand is picking up, especially after the US elections. Now the entire thing getting over, things are opening up. The restaurants are opening up in the US. The EU continues to remain a bit of a concern area. So overall, I see this market as market will be in balance. I do expect prices to remain similar to what we had in the last season. I do expect less volatility, which is probably going to be good for all the exporters and all the other stakeholders in the market. And and like Mr. Roland said earlier, I would like to be cautiously optimistic. So yeah, that would be my reading on this market.
All right, great. Thank you very much for your perspective on the market, for sharing your perspective on the market. Valency Agro, if you can hear me, please unmute yourself. Let's also understand what your perspective is like this year. Again, if you have questions you would like to ask, probing questions you would like to ask, you can use the chat function to put down your question. We will direct them appropriately to the persons you want directed to. Now, if Valency Agro Nigeria Limited can hear me, please kindly unmute your microphone, and then let's see what your perspective is like for the international market. Valency Agro Limited or Huxley Global? If you can hear me, please kindly unmute your microphone. Valency Agro Limited or Huxley Global, either of the two. You can unmute your microphone. And then let's understand your perspective for this year. Okay, do we have Calotus Investment or Sterling Global or any international player, any international, any exporter or buyer? Let's understand what.
Yes, thank you very much, Nat. This is Colossus Investment, Tola Fasheru. This year, from what we can perceive, is still a bit too early to take positions right now, as we are still expecting to get more details from Vietnam in terms of their crop size, and then of course that of Cambodia. The feedback from India seems the crop is likely to be relatively good. But of course, as you are aware, the lunar holiday is we're about that period right now in Vietnam. So things are a bit quiet, and they're in the holiday mood. So I expect that towards getting towards the last week in February, we'll have more comprehensive information, because of course the Vietnamese will want to have an understanding or have a good knowledge of what they have in their country and use that to benchmark what they're going to be offering for the cargoes that will be coming from other origins. And of course, the pandemic is there. Fortunately for everyone, Vietnam was not hit by the pandemic. There was no major lockdown and no major incidences in Vietnam. Of course, last year, India was hit, and that affected the routing of our crop to India. We pray that the pandemic, the impact will slow down the more and give us more opportunity. And like my friend from Olam said, and in fact, Roland, what he said, cashew is being looked at as a healthy food, healthy snack. So in the midst of the pandemic, we are able to sell even more. But of course, even when people want to have the food, there must be the easy movement of the goods to those that want to have the nut. So we're praying that the lockdowns in Europe, in America, would within a short time be eased off. And then of course that the impact of the pandemic in those areas also will take a downward trend. And if that happens, then we will have a good, very, very good year. And thank God, on the side of the local market, the quality from Nigeria keeps increasing, and people, the international market keeps having a good perspective on, and on they have the positive image for Nigerian cashew. So by and large, it's important that we understand the uncertainties and the ambiguities surrounding the market, not only for cashew, but for other crops. As we all are aware, for those who trade cocoa had a serious a bit of challenge this year, where the market globally, we had a reduction in the demand, and the grinding figures also, came down sharply because of the lockdown. So we must go into the season with a lot of caution, and for our local suppliers and our farmers, the expectations should not be too high, but I believe that there should be a fair market for everyone across the value chain, from the farmer to the local buying agent, to the merchant, to the exporter, to the processor. We believe that if we all function moderately, not pushing our expectations too high, and giving allowances for all these uncertainties, we should have a good year, a year where we should be able to smile. I think that's my own take, my own feedback. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I thought that was very insightful, and thank you for that contribution.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, welcome, sir. All right. Now, to let me reiterate this. We are going to be compiling reports after this event. So we would like those state representatives who have not been able to send in their field reports to use the chat function. Let's understand what the field report is like in your environment, in your state. Tell us the KOR, tell us the knot count, tell us the moisture content, tell us the quality of, do you have enough, what's the harvest situation like, and possibly also the price that you're looking at. Before we quickly go to the financial institution to give us their goodwill messages and then for them to make us understand what is their financial plan for cashew actors for this year, I would like, we are going to get a very special insight from African Cashew Alliance in the person of Blessing. Blessing is the communication manager for African Cashew Alliance all the way from Ghana. So Blessing, if you can hear me, please kindly unmute your microphone and then give us the insights you would like stakeholders and investors to know about the industry. Thank you very much. If you can hear me, unmute yourself.
Thank you very much, Nathaniel. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. We are happy to be part of this event. Babatola has spoken extensively. We look forward to working with stakeholders of the Nigerian cashew industry, more now that the president of the ACA board is an indigene. As he mentioned earlier, ACA is closer now. We welcome suggestions, ideas, partnerships from all the stakeholders from Nigeria. We have products and services that are available already that you can also benefit from. I'll be leaving our contact details in the chat box. Please feel free to contact us and let's support the industry and grow it as much as possible. We wish you all a very fruitful season, and please write to us, contact us. The board chairman is there with you, very close to you. Let us know how we can support the industry and together work and make this Nigerian cashew industry more viable. Thank you. Nathaniel,
you're welcome.
I hand over to you now.
All right, thank you very much, Blessing. Yes, thank you very much for that information. We also have Nourishing Africa with us. If they are around, I'm going to, if you're around, you can unmute yourself and then give us a little insights about what you're doing. Meanwhile, I would like the financial institutions to be on standby. After this, I would like Mr. Imam from Bankability to give us insight as to the funding opportunities in UK for players in the cashew industry. So you'll be on standby if we get any if after the remark from Nourishing Africa, who are technical partners for this event. If you can hear me, you unmute yourself. Nourishing Africa. Otherwise, we proceed. Otherwise, let's proceed with the financial institutions. Imam, if you can hear me, please kindly unmute your microphone and then give us insight as to what funding opportunities are there in UK for the cashew actors. If you can hear me, please unmute yourself. This is your time, Imam.
Good afternoon.
Yes, hi, good afternoon.
Are you able to hear me?
Absolutely,
good afternoon, so Nathaniel. Sorry to disappoint you, but I'm a female, not a male. You kept referring to me.
Oh, I beg your pardon, I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it, it's fine. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Mem Rita Usanga, founder of Bankability. We help to ensure that exporters, so specifically African actors, are creditworthy when they are, in any trade transaction that they are undertaking. For us, that means we not only look at the actual exporter, but we're also looking at the buyer as well. Everything is as it should be. So as the name of the business suggests, we ensure that you as an exporter are bankable and are able to raise finance. Yes, we are based in the the non-bank lenders that we work with are based in the UK. There are a lot of Africa-focused non-bank trade finance firms who are based in the City of London, and closely with them in order to match them with African exporters who have transactions that they need to raise money for to execute and export internationally. Just to be clear, however, any exporters that we work with must require a minimum of $1 million. So it's normally an international transaction, but there is a minimum of a $1 million requirement. So if there's anybody who is exporting internationally, I mean, I've heard Vietnam come up because, that comes up often, Vietnam, India, USA, as Roland has mentioned already, USAID do have a very specific call for cashew. They're actually they're the second largest consumer of cashew in the world, and so there's a trade and investment hub that comes out of USA that are focused specifically on pushing cashew. And have been working the deal for a while. So anybody that requires investment, it doesn't matter. So just to be clear, it doesn't matter if the trade, by the way, is coming out of any market, any market. So it's not a case of the buyer in question has to be in the UK. As long as the seller is in Africa, or if you are a processor who requires equipment and you are based in Africa, the financier based in the UK will finance, because for them it's about trade into and out of Africa. One thing I do want to mention, however, I don't know if anybody is aware, so here we have an organization which is a government-based organization called UK Export Finance. So if you are basically dealing with any UK buyers, especially if you are an importer, then UK Export Finance are on hand to, to help to finance, to invest in that deal. Again, there is a minimum amount that has to be involved here, and it is in the millions. Unfortunately, I think if I recall, it's I think they reduced it to 2 million, but I have to double check that. But if anybody is looking to buy equipment for a processing plant and they're buying from UK suppliers, UK manufacturers, UK Export Finance are there to, to help with that deal. And there are also incentives involved, and when it comes to clearing, etc. So there's lots of different support there. Yeah. So the only other thing I want to say, if there are any cooperatives or any cooperatives that are here that are helping to aggregate products, at Cashew from farmers, please feel free to reach out to me. I will put my details in the chat, so you can reach out to me. I'll put my WhatsApp details, and you can reach out to me. But as I said, our focus is making sure that you raise money. But yes, wishing you all a very successful season. Because we're very excited. Yes, the pandemic is there, but we are very excited to help as many of you as we can to raise the finance required to export product to international markets. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that information. Well, we would quickly, there are questions some people are already asking at the chat function. We're going to be throwing it to some of the banks that we have here in Nigeria. So the banks be getting ready for...
I'm sorry, is it possible to speak? I've just spoken with the PAMSEC. He couldn't make it, and he has directed that I represent him and deliver his speech. My name is S.A. Aldu, the Director of Commodity and Export Department. I've been waiting to hear from the PAMSEC, and has given the directive that I should do that on his behalf. And very soon I may have some network challenges. My battery is also very low, so I don't know if I can do that quickly. Otherwise, I don't know what I should do. I have some technical challenges, and I hope if I can quickly do that, then that will be fine for your record. What do you say, please?
Okay. Go ahead, sir.
I can go ahead?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. Thanks very much. I'm delivering this speech on behalf of the Permanent Secretary, Dr. Nesu Sani, Guaso, MNI, NPOM of the Federal Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment. And let me also apologize on his behalf because he couldn't personally deliver this speech. He's already on official assignment in Jigawa and also in Kano on his way back to Abuja. All protocol duly observed because of time constraint. I am delighted and honored to welcome all esteemed stakeholders on behalf of the Honorable Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, His Excellency Otumbani Adebayo Suwen, to this very important Cashew Trade Season flag off ceremony. I appreciate you all for your attendance, and it shows how passionate we are all in collaborating towards boosting our economy and enhancing food security in our nation, but most especially for the development of our cashew value chain. Please permit me to appreciate all members, both new and old, who have been very diligent in the support of the activities of the subsector. I encourage you to continue in your efforts towards achieving our goals for the greater good of the nation. It is important to highlight that the federal government is committed to its economic diversification agenda and therefore prioritize the development of the agricultural sector. At the third quarter of 2020, the federal government identified 22 priority non-oil exports, and cashew was at the top of the list. The commodity has an export values of $4.5 billion a year, and a lot still needs to be done to scale up productions from about 300,000 metric tons where it currently stands. The ministry is mandated to formulate policies for work creation, employment, poverty alleviations, and to ensure enhanced service delivery in a manner that will stimulate economic growth through industry, trade, and investment. I cannot stress enough the importance of putting in place a sustainable cashew value chain, which is economically viable, environmentally bearable, and socially equitable. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to intimate you of the Sustainable Trade Initiative being implemented by the National Cashew Association of Nigeria in partnership with Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment via the Commodity and Export Department. The initiative is primarily focused on de-risking the Nigerian cashew value chains, and it is expected to make the subsector one of the most sought after in the world. I also wish to use this opportunity to intimate you of the 50 billion export expansion facility under the Economic Sustainability Plan, which the federal government, through Federal Ministry of Industry and Investment, will be implementing. It is important for stakeholders in the cashew sector to think of how to key into the initiatives and also take advantage of it. Furthermore, I must highlight the importance of prioritizing the productions of high-quality products to enable the nation's cashew commodities and its derivatives compete favorably in the international market for profit maximization, especially as we are gearing to take advantage of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, which has come into operation this year. Accordingly, the purpose of bringing stakeholders together today is to seek for relevant stakeholder support and strategic partnership with the ANCAN for the inclusive development of the cashew value chain. Without much ado, I shall end my remarks by wishing all of us successful and productive deliberation. I thank you and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that opening keynote address and official keynote address from the PAMSEC. Thank you very, very much. Taking us further in today's event, like I said earlier, we would like, there are some questions that people are already asking, which would include, and which is the questions are directed to the financial institution. Part of the questions include what are the financial package by banks for cashew farmers who want to enlarge their plantation, and then some of the. So I would like the financial institutions that are present to let us understand what are the financial packages they have for cashew players. If Dr. Uchenna can hear me, please kindly unmute your microphone and then give us insight as to what Keystone Bank is doing, or financial package for cashew actors. Dr. Uchenna, Keystone Bank, if you can hear me, please unmute yourself. Dr. Uchenna? Okay, while he's getting ready, any other bank that is present, we have UBA, we have Zenith Bank, Unity Bank, Sterling Bank, we have Keenest Private Bank, Keenest Private Equity Investments, we have, we also have Jai's Bank. So any bank that is present, you can just unmute your microphone and then let's understand what financial package you have for cashew actors. If you can hear me, just unmute yourself and go ahead. This is your time, financial institutions. Yes, any financial institution that can hear me, please unmute yourself. We have UBA, we have Zenith Bank, we have Unity Bank, we have Sterling Bank, we have Jai's Bank, we have Keenest Private Equity Investment, Investment One, Palladium. So if you can hear me, just unmute your microphone. Any of you or any financial institution, you can unmute yourself because the farmers and players are interested to let them understand how they can key into some of the packages available. So if you can hear me, unmute your microphone and go ahead. Yes. Okay, well, while we're waiting for them, I would like to call on Mr. Adeshina to speak on the financial package. Dr. Ade Adeshina, if you can hear me, please. I would like you to speak on the financial package available. Dr. Ade Adeshina, Adeshida, I beg your pardon. If you can hear me, please, you can unmute your microphone and then tell us what financial package are there for cooperative specifically. Dr. Ade Adeshida.
Hello, good evening. Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thank you. It's very good to be here. And I'm not supposed to talk about this initially, but I think I can provide some inputs. Financing cashew production has always been a challenge to us in Nigeria here. And I think the response from the bank on this platform just confirms that it's a really big challenge for us. Because if no bank has been able to actually come up and tell us the kind of package they have for farmers, or if they have any facility, that means there's a gap in that area, and we need to look critically into that. So, however, I would like to say currently there are no financial instruments known to INCAN at this point for local production. If there are, the banks can tell us otherwise. But for today, for cashew, there are none. We have some for other crop, for other tree crops, which are for cocoa and other tree crops. But for cashew, as of today, there are none, and it's been a big issue. Over the last 1 month, we've been engaging banks, engaging financial institutions, and engaging development funds to actually support farmers to expand, to cushion, or to maintain farms. And we've been receiving a very low turnout. So we use this opportunity to call out on everyone who actually might look for, who might actually have a way out to this imminent problem, because we know the startup of every value chain is a farm. If the farms don't produce, it's going to die in the question of number of years. So it's been a challenging one for us, seeking for funds, and we hope that banks can actually look into this and sit down with us to understand how the sector works and how the buying system, how the farming system works, how financing works. We hope NISAL is here to hear us. We hope Sterling Bank is here to hear us. I know Sterling Bank has a sway package, the sway ag finance package. They can include INCAN or cashew farmers, and we are very willing to make it a very less risky process for them. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Adeshida, for that insight. Thank you. I also would, I understand that if Dr. Uchenna is available from Keystone Bank, if Dr. Uchenna is available, please go ahead with your remark, or go ahead with what packages Keystone Bank has for cashew actors or players. Dr. Uchenna? I think he's having a technical problem connecting. We're talking via WhatsApp, but I guess he's having a technical problem connecting to this to make his presentation. Okay. As we begin to wrap up today's event, as soon as they're available, some of the banks, especially Keystone Bank and Keenest Private Equity, I will quickly call them up. So, but without wasting time, I'm afraid I have to call back the Executive Secretary, National Cashew Association of Nigeria, in the person of still Dr. Adeshida, who would be giving us what we call INCAN Sustainable Trade Initiative. This is going to be very informative, and I would like us to pay close attention to what he's going to be saying. If you can hear me again, I beg your pardon, you may have to come back again, Dr. Ade.
Yes. What's this thing?
Yes.
Yes, thank you very much. I would have loved to share my screen. Maybe the host can permit me to do that so that we can follow through what I'll be speaking about. But before that is done, I would like to congratulate Mr. Tola Fasheru for his appointment as the President Board of Directors is here. And it is worthy of note that a win for you is a win for Nigeria. Congratulations once again, sir. And also, I would have loved the state chapters to actually give a brief update while the updates were going on about if there are any specific COVID-19 restrictions by the states, which might actually affect the trade and the supply of raw cashew nuts to Lagos. If there are any, but if there are none, it's okay. So, moving forward, the Sustainable Trade Initiative, INCAN works in a way where we are mandated to actually look at the sector, identify the problems there, and provide and develop programs. That can actually give lasting and sustainable solutions to these problems. So during our strategic plan meeting, we identified some problems, and I think our takeoff program to address some of these problems is brought us to the point of developing what we call the Sustainable Trade Initiative. I thank the ministry for actually putting some light to that and putting some confidence to that. But the initiative is just primarily to provide a safe environment for supply chain actors to operate. So the theory of change is simple. I won't waste our time. The theory of change is very, very simple. We believe for any sustainable, for any value chain to thrive, it has to be done in a very responsible manner, such that you can close your eyes and make credible investments. Part of our major focus for our strategic goal for the next 5 years for INCAN is to actually make Nigeria a very credible go-to place for sourcing of raw cashew nuts, and this we have done, and we have entrenched into the sustainable trade initiative. So the theory of trade is simple. Our input, which is the start off, is to actually strengthen the market system for access to responsible supply chain actors. Also, to provide quality and traceable cashew nuts. Also, to provide best business practices and provide risk-free contract administration and robust relationship among other actors. And we hope that if this is done, it will lead us to the output, which clearly states that we're expected to have an upgrade in our local business practices, access to trained and licensed supply chain actors, supply of quality traceable raw cashew nuts, and a behavioral change system by actors, and a risk-free contract-free administration. So we hope to have an outcome which will be lasting and will lead to our desired impact. With intervention, we hope that we would have an improved level of cashew trade investment. We have reduced risk in the sector, and we have a robust condition of improved sourcing of improved traceable raw cashew nuts. Then we hope to have an increased investment profile and profitability among the supply chain actors. When profitability is being removed from a trade, I don't think it's no longer a trade. So we hope to increase our investment profile over the next 5 years from what it is to what we have currently pegged it to be. And this is just a development phase, and in the few days to come, we'll be sharing with you a very concrete plan and inviting public consultation to actually add flesh to what we have and see areas where people can come in. Once again, I would not like to waste our time, but what I would say is most has been said on trading cashew cautiously, and I think it's something we should hold dear. We should trade cashew cautiously on the defense side, such that we'll be able to cope in case there are any kind of shocks in the market system. So once again, I welcome you all for this to this new season. The minister's speech has actually confirmed the flag off and confirmed the start of the season. And I wish all of us a very profitable season. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Adeshida, for that presentation. I thought that was very insightful.
Nathaniel.
Thank you once again. I truly appreciate everyone for taking our time to be part of this event. So far, we're about to be rounding up the event. The flag. Okay.
Nathaniel.
Yes. So I think the President, Honorable Ojo Ajanaku, wants to say something quickly. So please, sir, you have the floor.
Yeah, thank you very much. Once again, I appreciate the audience of everybody, and I want to say a big thank you once again for having all this time with us. I want to throw more light on the Sustainable Trade Initiative. It is a plan that this administration have. We are trying to see how we de-risk this sector, because many people are complaining about encroachment. Yes, every investor wants to protect their money. We want to set a business in a way that an investor can be far back in his or her country and track whatever he's buying from where he's buying it to point of loading and to arrive to his destination. This is our primary goal. And how can we achieve this? We have engaged the ministry, and we have also present our goals to them, what we want to do and how we want to get them achieved. One of them is to develop an app which we call Pro App. And this Pro App is going to track every load that is moving from a destination to wherever it's going to. You can be in your country and monitor where you buy your goods and how it moves. The era of somebody telling you, I load 5 trucks, I load 10 trucks, will be over. This is what we are looking at. We're also looking at a situation where advancing people will no longer be a situation where you give money to faceless people. We want to do it in a way that everybody is known. How do you know them? Make them register. We have a meeting, and we have a proposal with the Federal Produce Inspection Services, which is we have gotten approval from the minister, and we've gotten approval from the permanent secretary. Very soon it will be tabled to us. The laws of the land has to be obeyed. We have what the laws term as extant law, how the business should be done. There's a saying, Nigeria is not a banana republic where everybody can come and do your business the way you like it and go. Why we're having issue, it is because things are not practiced the way they are to be done. So our Sustainable Trade Initiative is to put the right perspective in place, to put the laws into action, to practice the law. Everybody has to follow its own jurisdiction. You work within your jurisdiction. The primary goal of this trade is to create employment for our timid population, because we want to wipe away crime from this country, and it is only by giving them job to do that is when we can gradually fade away crime. And so we are looking at it very critically. Exporters have their jurisdiction, merchants has their jurisdiction, individuals has their jurisdiction, local buyer agents have their jurisdiction. This will be practiced as time goes on when the laws are enforced. This is what we are looking at. And by so doing, the exporters will no longer be afraid of where their money is going to or how their money is going to come back, because income will be fully in charge with the ministry and all the agencies working in collaboration to check and make sure that everybody works according to the rules of the land. This is what I need to add to what the Executive Secretary has just presented. And about the finance also, I still want to throw light on it. We have also talked to so many banks, and this is what they say. The risk in the business is high. If we can de-risk it, and make it attractive, then they can come in and invest. And the only way we can de-risk it is to make this business work according to the laws of the land. If it was according to the laws of the land, then the banks will invest in this business, and then we will not have issue of finance. Bankers are not Father Christmas. They won't give money to you when they know for sure that the money is not going to come back. Of course, they have done it to so many people and the money didn't come back to them. So how do you expect them to give more money when the ones they gave out has not been returned? So our primary goal and duty in our short time that we're in office is to de-risk the sector and make it attractive so that money can come into the hands of these people that are in the trade. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you very much, National President of INCAN, Honorable Ojo Ajanaku. Thank you, sir. This is a quick one. There are a couple of banks that have been trying to join this event, but I understand we have reached a maximum capacity for this. That will be difficult for them, but they have indicated, especially Keystone Bank, they've indicated interest to finance any very profitable venture. So I would also drop my contacts so you can reach me and let's take it up from that angle. We also have FACAN, but because of we have taken quite a lot of time, we're a little bit behind the schedule for this event, so I wouldn't want to take so much speech anymore. But I understand FACAN is also much with us at the moment. To bring this event to a close, I would like the public relations officer, beg your pardon, of INCAN, to give us his vote of thanks. Now, if you can hear me, the INCAN's public relation officer, you can unmute yourself and then you can unmute yourself for a vote of thanks.
Yes,
please, if you can hear me, the public relations officer of INCAN, if you can hear me, please unmute yourself for your vote of thanks. Well, while we await the public relations officer's vote of thanks, there's a question that somebody has asked. The question is, how do Nigerian exporter register with INCAN? I don't know if Dr. Adeshida would want to respond to that quickly before we wrap up this event. The question is, how do Nigerian exporter register with INCAN? People are interested in registering with INCAN. How do they go about it? The question is coming from the Nigerian exporter.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I hear you. So basically, I've shared our official mail at the chat function on the Zoom platform. So you can write directly, then we can send you the requirements and the necessary documents you need to submit, and possibly and owe you to some other quarters of the government who you will be registering with, also with INCAN. So you can chat us through the chat box. We'll send us a mail, we'll reply to you. Also, my number is there. You can reach out to the secretariat. And also for the national PRO is not available. The network inside is very, very poor. So I would like to give a vote of thanks on his behalf. And I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone who has taken time to be on this platform. I would like to thank everyone who has taken time to recharge, to actually join this Zoom meeting, this Zoom flag off. This is the first time we're going to be having a virtual flag off, and we are very confident. We are very, very confident that it has shaped the way we think, and it has made us sit up and provided a larger platform for people to join.
Oh yeah, go and eat amala.
Okay, Dr. Adeshida.
So we want to thank you once again. We really appreciate you. We appreciate Mr. Tola Fasheru. We appreciate ACCA. We appreciate the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. We appreciate the Board of Directors. We appreciate all the farmers' membership. We appreciate all the state executives. We appreciate all the banks who are not able to join, and we hope we'll take this engagement forward with you after this event. Then also, we want to appeal to everyone who will be advancing, who will be giving out funds, to please follow due diligence, so that we will not have nasty issues after the season. And I wish you all a very safe season and a profitable one at that. Thank you very much. Also, I would like to add that Nigerian Business Register has been very superb in services, and we recommend them for anyone who would actually like to take them up. Thank you very much. INCAN is here to provide services. INCAN is here to support. INCAN is here to do linkages, facilitation, and also INCAN is here to ensure traceable supply of raw cashew nuts in Nigeria to other parts of the world. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Happy cashew season.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ade Adeshida, for that vote of thanks. From this end, we also like to appreciate you. Thank everyone who took time to participate in this event. Thank you so very much. Now, we have some questions people are still asking. So, please go ahead. We would revert to your questions. Thank you for putting your contact details. We'll reach back to you with the answers. Dr. Ade, they are still requesting that you put your contact details. I'm afraid probably some of them not being able to scroll back up. So maybe if you can still drop your contact details or the contact details of INCAN, so that people who are interested in joining the association would do so. Thank you so very much. Again, we would leave some few minutes after this so that anyone who has not dropped his contact details yet can do so. Drop your contact details, your name, the name of your organization, your email, your phone number, and then possibly you can also tell us what you do or what you're looking for. So after the event, we can carry up with some of your queries or requests. Also, we are going to be sending a feedback form. We would be so happy to hear what you thought about this event and how we can improve upon this event next time, come next year. So please help to fill the feedback form, and let's hear what you thought about this event. Thank you very much. On behalf of the Nigeria Agribusiness Register, I wish you a great trading year and a very prosperous new year. Thank you so much once again.
Hello, Nat.
Yes.
Hello? Yes, please. I would like to suggest maybe I would like to suggest maybe we'll keep the line open for a few minutes so that anybody who wants to share contacts. Yeah, so just for a few about 5-10 minutes so that we can share contacts and we can stay contacts on the chat platform. If that's okay by you.
Okay. Perfect. That's perfect. That's very perfect. So he just reiterated what I said earlier. That is, we'll leave this platform open for a while for some form of networking to take place. That means you just drop your contact details. And it seems to me, Dr. Uchenna, I saw him briefly online. I don't know if he's there. So this platform will be open for the next 20 minutes. We'll leave it on for the next 20 minutes. So you just put in your contact details so we can reach back to you, or you can network so people can reach you and network with you appropriately. While that is going on, if Dr. Uchenna is still available, he can just say one or few things while we have a great day ahead of us. So thank you. Go ahead.
Hello, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Uchenna Obi. Sorry, I'm joining late. I'm the divisional head of Agric at Keystone Bank, Abuja. Nathaniel, thank you very much for the wonderful opportunity and for the invite.
You're welcome.
We at Keystone Bank we are also supporting Agric to a large extent because we are actively participating in almost all the CBN intervention programs, and we also learn from our balance sheet. We are currently rounding up with a product, Agric Finance product for agro-commodity dealers like you, agro-commodity dealers and merchants, where we, emphasize more on the use of stock being financed as the collateral, because we know the challenges most merchants face when it comes to issue of collateral. So we'll do it under a warehousing arrangement. So any moment from now, we'll be able to finalize with that. But we treat, a request. Currently, we treat requests on case-by-case basis. So if you have an aggregation center, which I know most of you usually have, either by ownership or by lease, and then we can, structure, funding of your aggregation for cashew nuts, either for export or for, sell to, exporters, then we can do that. So I know some, some of your members have had the opportunity of, coming in contact with them. And I believe that you don't need so much. For example, if you have like 20%, then we can finance 100% and then structure it in such a way that we do tranche disbursement to the not more than the 20% which you have contributed, such that at any point in time, as we are parting with fund, we are having the commodity. As we are having the commodity, we are also disbursing more, to you. So that is the kind of structure we currently run now with some merchants in our other agro commodity, like processors as well, under the paddy aggregation scheme, which we are also participating of CBN. So it will be a wonderful opportunity to, have some of you, partner with you to be able to extend some funds, for cashew aggregation. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so very much, Dr. Uchenna, for that insight as to the banking finance package from Keystone Bank. Sorry, before you leave, there was a question somebody asked earlier. I thought you have sort of answered it somehow, but I just want to be very specific. The question is, what are the financial package from Keystone Bank for cashew farmers who want to expand their plantation? Are they such package for such farmers?
No. Why? Because cashew is a long gestation crop. Such a package, we have discussed this with CBN. It's only CBN can, make available funding for a plantation for long gestation, crop like cashew. Basically, what we have now is for trading. So unless there is, the customer has existing cash flow, which we have seen is adequate, that can, be used to support the loan as at the time the plantation is still very young before it starts producing, or that the plantation has gone a long way and maybe it requires few months before harvesting will start. The first harvest will start. Then we can come and inspect the plantation and then take it up from there. But for now, I cannot, guarantee that the bank will finance long gestation period like cashew. Anything that is, more than 1 year, any crop that the gestation period is more than 1 year, would have a different program, which will be more of development financing, not commercial.
Okay, thank you very much for that information. We have another question from someone, that would be Dr. Nee. Dr. Nee is asking a lot of questions there. Basic is what will be the fate of farmers in securing convenient single-digit loan. You know, he wants a response to the phone number. Dr. Lee, your questions or your question is noted, and please, we would revert to you on that. We'll revert to you on that. His question is, please, what is the fate of farmers in securing convenient single-digit loan?
Hello?
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't get the question clearly.
No, somebody just asked the question. I thought it's quite general. The question is, please, what is the fate of farmers in securing, I beg your pardon, convenient single-digit loan? I thought that was quite a general question. That what is the fate of farmers in securing convenient single-digit loan in the face of this economic recession? Because he understands that there's no level of de-risking that they can put in place that will make commercial loans obtainable and profitable. So I think he wants to understand what government needs to intervene, in this whole matter and fund the
Okay, please, can I explain something? Sorry, Nathaniel, can I explain something? Because there is this general misconception we have about farming, and when it comes to interest rates. I think we have been talking to our customers on this. Let us de-emphasize on interest rates and emphasize on efficiency. Let me give you an example. Farmers in Nigeria rice farmers in Nigeria struggle to, this is, like you said, it's a general question. So I'm not talking of cashew now. I'm talking generally because I'm talking of short gestation crops. Farmers in Nigeria, for example, struggle to get up to 3 tons per hectare. But if you go to other countries, you get up to 8 tons, 9 tons, 10 tons. We should be emphasizing on efficiency. Are they using the right fertilizer? Are they planting at the right time? Are they using the high quality seed? What are the agronomic practices? So these are the questions. And you should know it's a short gestation crop, for example, which you can even farm 3 times in a year if you put all the necessary facilities in. So that should be the emphasis: efficiency in operations, and not. Let me give you an example. If a farmer, a rice farmer that can harvest within 4 months maximum, the bank gives the farmer interest of 24%. I'm just using that. It's even high. You can get less than 24%. That means it's 8% within per cycle, and that is single digits. It's 8% per cycle. And if you do that, definitely see the multiplication in terms of efficiency. You do it well, and you harvest, say, just conservatively 5 tons. You can conveniently pay that loan at even less than 2 tons per hectare. So I want us to have this mind of operational efficiency comes before interest rate, because interest rate is per annum. Some people go and collect intervention fund and they will tell them it's 9% per annum. Whereas they can finish that within 4 months, you close the cycle and repay the loan. But they will be waiting for the entire 12 months too. And they will now end up paying 9%. Whereas somebody who collected at 24% and was able to cycle out in 4 months will pay only 8%. You only pay that 24 if you are holding the money for 1 year. So let us, know this, because I later observed that most of our customers do not understand it that way. Thank you.
Well, thank you so very much, Dr. Uchenna, for that insight. It will interest you to know that Dr. Uchenna understands the industry himself. Is not every body, especially banking financial institution, not so many of them understand the industry that much, but Dr. Uchenna does a lot. And so thank you for that insight. They are requesting for your contact. So if you don't mind, you can share your contact details so that people can reach you for further discussions. So,
hello, Mr. Nat.
Yes.
Why we exchange our contact on the chat function? I think maybe I can add something. just while away time, and I think officially the meeting is about over after the vote of thanks. So this is just
Officially, the meeting has been
gentleman's between. So nobody's going to solve the problem for us. We can't keep waiting for.
Please, can you introduce yourself? Please introduce yourself.
And keep giving us donor support and everything. There's donor. That's why most projects.
Sorry, can you introduce yourself, sir, so that we know who's talking?
Sorry. This is Adeshida. Yeah.
Okay, doctor.
Adeshida. Incan. Yeah.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
So I said the problem is already there, and the problem will keep staying there unless we address it. So the issue of financing for crop, because I've been into the crop crop system for a while now, and it's been very, very difficult for banks to actually design a product model that will actually address long gestation crops, and these are the crops that actually give us high export value. So we can't keep shying away from these problems. They are there and they'll keep staying there until I have so many clients so many partners who are actually looking for funds to actually expand or maintain the farm. The truth is that sometimes these farms are not profitable for the farmers, and we need to begin to look at it. When we leave the farmers to the problems and we say, okay, we are providing investment to only supply chain actors, it just means we are just avoiding the main problem. The farmers are there and they need the support. So it is high time the banks and CBN and everybody sit down on a round table, discuss how they can develop a model, a product model that can effectively address the problem, the challenge, the agri financing even for farmers. And if we don't do this in due time, it will create a lot of problems even going forward. Now we are saying the demand for cashew nuts is rising, is picking up, which is good. But what do you want to buy if I'm putting down my funds to trade cashew in Nigeria? Once there's a problem with the cashew system, it moves to cocoa immediately. His funds is still there, it moves to cocoa immediately. But those people that will not leave the farms are the poor farmers, the small farmers who are in the communities. They can't leave the trade. It is their means of livelihood. So a trader can easily leave, which makes it easy for. So I'll just use this opportunity to see how, after this engagement, I'll reach out to Keystone Bank and see how we can have a discussion on the table and see how Incan can better assure them or give them insight to how they can get their money back. Because the only sense is giving out the money to the farmers and getting it back. So we can adopt a market systems approach that can ensure complete repayment of loan given out for crops and for crop production and everything. Coupled with the fact that if these funds are intervention, there are so many farmers who need good chemicals, but access is a problem. After access to affordability, so it is high time we actually look at a model that can actually address this problem at the base. And that's the foundation of our engagement as an association, the farmers group. We need to look at what the farmers are lacking, which is sometimes financing. If you go into the interiors of cashew producing communities, cashew trees are dying off. Cashew trees are dying off. Okay, for example, there's an agronomic practice that's very central to cashew production, which is the pruning. How many farmers can cope with the cost of pruning? How much is the cashew nut? How much is the cost of maintaining the farm? Is it profitable for the farmer? We need to begin to look at these areas. And I think once we resolve this issue, even trading will be easier. Investment will go up because our focus for Incan this year is to actually increase the investment profile for the cashew for the nation. Once the investment profile is high, that means we are getting a larger chunk of the market share, which makes sense, total sense to me. So we need to begin to look at how we can better support these farmers to actually have sustainable production, environmentally, socially, and economically, which is very key for us. Thank you.
Wow, thank you very much. Thank you very, very much, Dr. Adeshida, for that information and that insight also. So I'm sure Dr. Uchenna can also hear you loud and clear. So he has requested for a meeting with Keystone Bank so you can iron out how you would partner in funding the NCAN for this year and going forward. Thank you very much. So,
hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir.
Remember?
Hello, sir.
Yes. Yes, I can
raised
hear
the
you.
question, but my question was not answered.
I'm new in this thing. Please, how can we enter into the business? I asked the question, it was not answered. Then, if we want to go into production, how do we get the machine and how much? That was my question. It was not addressed.
Oh, apologies for that oversight. Okay, so I think somebody wants to answer. Doctor,
I'm
yes.
very new, so I want to know how we can enter the business. Then, if we want to get the machine for processing, it's like how much can we be looking at?
Okay, thank you. I think that's very clear. I don't know if Dr. Adeshida wants to respond to that.
Yes, I would like to respond to that question. I think that has been the most easiest question of all we've had ever since we started. So it's a simple answer. The engagement is not for a year. Yeah, the engagement is not for a year. We have the Nigeria Business Register. We have our service provider groups who are willing to give you business advisory services. You can come to Incan. Our door is always open. We'll give you cost of production, production plans and everything. You can go to Ag Business Register. They can give you that sort of support. Nutrition. Side consulting is there through the Northern Africa program. You can reach out to them. They can give you. But if you have to go into that details here now, I don't think the time will permit us to actually go into it. But of course, we are welcome into the sector. For Incan, I say membership is membership and membership services and membership registration is always open all year round. So you can reach, my number is on the chat button. You can send me a message. You can write us an email. We respond to you swiftly.
What's your name, sir? So that I think when I get your contact, I will know. What's your name?
My name is Ade Adeshida.
Ade Adeshida.
Ade Adeshida.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you place your number now so that I can see? Put your number up so that I can see.
Hello.
Hello. Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Okay. Hope you can hear me, Mr. Nathaniel Odiba.
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah. So just
okay.
A minute,
I'm Alhaji. Okay.
Yeah. Please just a minute. So that we can. So okay. Yeah. So great. So we have you. I'm sure you can see Dr. Ade's number right there. I've also included my own contact details, so you can also reach me, so we can guide you on how to go about setting up your own factory. Thank you very much. Okay, sir, you can go ahead. You're trying to introduce yourself. You have the floor now, sir.
Yes, I'm actually Alhaji Issa Buhari from Anyiba in Kogi State precisely. And I want to thank you all for organizing this virtual meeting for the flag off of 2021 cashew season. Actually, we normally experience some issues that has to do with low quality at some point. And it is connected to some kind of poor harvest by farmers and other players in the industry. So I'm like trying to asking if there's anything UNCAN can do and other investors, probably the international and the local investor, to making sure that, yes, we sensitize our farmers and some key players in this industry on how we can go about having a very good yield and a very good QOR. And as we all know, we understand that the QOR is a better parameter in this very value chain in cashew processing. So in view, I would like UNCAN to do one thing or the other and other investors to see that, yes, we sensitize our people, our farmers and players on how to go about having good harvest so we can have a very good business here. Thank you very much and God bless us all.
Thank you so very much, Alhaji Buhari, all the way from Kogi State. Thank you so much. I know that African Cashew Alliance, they're developing high yield seedlings for cashew. I'm sure UNCAN would work hand in hand with them to secure that so that farmers like yourself will have access to them. Also, there's a project Pro Cashew. The country representative was supposed to be here, but unfortunately he is on board right now. He has an engagement, so he's not available for the board. But I know that there are plans in place for cashew farmers to increase their yields. Yes, so I'm sure details of that. Please drop your contact details, your email and phone number, so that we can carry you along such developments. Remember, everyone,
Okay,
this.
thank you very much.
Yes, welcome, sir. Remember, everyone, that this meeting has officially come to an end. This is just a gentleman discussion to take on some few questions why the event. I'm sure in the next few seconds we're going to go off air. Yes, so if there's any
Thank you
response,
very much, my brother. I already dropped all my details and my address, my phone numbers, and my email. Please, I would like to have a feedback from you so we can follow it up from there. Thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity to hear my view.
Thank you so much. I appreciate.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So yes. So if African Cashew Alliance can hear me, blessing. And if Nkan also can see here, you can as well respond to his query. So in the next few seconds or minutes, yes, welcome, sir. In the next few seconds, we're going to go off air. In the next 1 minute, actually, we'll go off air.
Okay. Thank you very much. I think we have had a very robust moment, and we've had a very fantastic discussion on the way to go for this season. And I believe we'll have a very successful season by God's grace.
Amen.
All right, so like Blessing is not there to react to your requests.
Yes, she said she can see it now. I'm reading. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, hold on. Yeah, so well, let me retrieve what I said earlier, that ACA is developing a seedling, not ACA, but Pro Cashew. I beg your pardon. It's not ACA, but Pro Cashew. Yes.
Okay.
So I thought that should correction. Yes. Okay. I know there's intervention for the cashew sector specifically, put together by Pro Cashew. Yes, sir.
That's fine. I think I'll be looking forward to seeing their profile and what they can do, probably in written on the chat area, so we can pick it up from there. Then we'll vet it, we can read it and understand it very well and know the way to go in this very request.
Perfect. So, Lou, if you can put my contact up there, just chat me up on WhatsApp also, so I'll give you necessary contacts for that type of information also.
Okay, there's no problem. I'll do just
Nat, can I add something?
So officially, we have
this is Tola Fasheru.
Come to the end, really. This is just like
sorry, Tola Fasheru is talking ACA chairman, so we can listen to him, please. I think it's very important.
Thank you very much. So in terms of delivering a good quality seedlings and providing knowledge for GAP, good agricultural practices, these are things that AC have been working together with other development partners over the years. And that I can assure that working with INCAN moving forward, a lot of our people, a lot of our farmers will be gaining access to these opportunities to increase their yield. And in fact, even extending to post-harvest handling practices, trainings and workshops will be done that will help us to improve our yield and indeed our preservation of what we produce. So that we can expect to look forward to that over the next few months.
All right, thank you very much. Our ACA strive for this intervention.
Thank you so much.
And I believe your assertion will take effect in no time from now, so we can have the best yield and we can have the best business situation for this year and beyond. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome. Okay, great. So
hello, Mr. Nat. This is
sir. Okay, sir.
Yes, just to add to what Oga said, Mr. Tola Fasheru. It's easier for interventions to come and implement. So what we are doing at the level of INCAN is to actually make the environment conducive for successful project implementation. It might be difficult for ACA to start treating farmers individually for gap practices, for trainings and capacity building. So what we are doing is I would like to encourage all of us to actually look into our states there's a desk in every of our states going forward, which we actually looking into cooperative development. So once we arrange ourselves, it makes for easy access for intervention. Once you are not arranged, it makes it difficult for intervention to move around and to get to you. And even as a cooperative, you can even unlock better procurement. Talk to your state, especially your state secretaries. They are in charge of membership registration. Join the cooperative, no matter how small you are. Join the cooperative through income. Once you through income, it is easier for you to come. It's easier for Pro Cashew to come and assist you, and it makes the program all inclusive. And it is what I've done that we are leaving no one behind. We are leaving no one behind. As we have programs for the suppliers, we also have programs for the farmers, and we also have programs for the processors. So we are leaving no one behind, but endeavor to be in the right place at the right time. Be prepared for the intervention. If you are not there, I'm not sure the intervention will get to you. So as a processor, join the association, join the cooperatives, and let us know where you are. We'll reach out to you. The intervention will get to you, and it will be delivered, and we all have engagement also.
Okay, thank you very much, our Igbo Secretary, for this wonderful interjection, making sure that they get registered. So we can very much for your wonderful contribution. I think I'm delighted and convinced now.
Okay, thank you very much for that, everyone. Yes, so like the executive secretary said, you can join. There's somebody asking a question, how can you register with INCAN? That would be, he's from Kwara State, Mr. Yusuf Ishiaka. Please, Adeshi dropped his number earlier. You can just pull up a little bit. You'll see his number right there. His name is Dr. Ade Adeshida. You can contact him and he'll give you details on how to join INCAN, and then take on any other questions that you would like to ask him. Yes, so at this juncture, I can see we have a lot of questions coming up. Unfortunately, we may not be able to take any further questions. So you can just reach us via the contact details that we have shared. Dr. Ade Adeshida's contact is right there. You can contact him, or you can contact me, Nathaniel Odiba, for any other further questions or queries you have. Once again, I appreciate everyone who has stayed this long. I can see that there's a lot of interest along this line. Thank you so very much. I wish us a great and a very fruitful day ahead of us, and again, a very fruitful trading year. Have a beautiful day ahead. Bye.
Thank you, and God bless you and bless your organization.